coming up here. A top 10 team perhaps walking right into a trap. As any fan of college football knows, when you go on the road, you never know what you might run into. Welcome everyone to Annapolis, Maryland, home of the Navy Midshipmen. Trap. As any fan of college football knows, when you go on the road, you never know what you might run into. Welcome everyone to Annapolis, Maryland, home of the Navy Midshipmen. As we'll see, the number 8 team in the country, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Navy Midshipmen. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. And get this one started. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Midshipmen offense is on the field to start this game. There are always butterflies to start a game, but when you have a rivalry like this, the adrenaline is pumping on overdrive, guys.
They aren't all the same. We say that, but we know differently. The blood is boiling. The temperature is hot. Jesse, you want this week more than most.
Yeah, David, we played in these games before. Everything just seems to be heightened, right? The game seems to be moving faster. The crowd noise feels louder. Your composure will be tested early in a game like this.
On second down, read option to the right. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Guys, let's chat a bit about Navy. It can be a little bit tricky to balance that high school recruiting, transfer portal recruiting for some of the non-traditional powers. But when they're grabbing linebackers like this guy, you know they're doing the right thing.
Absolutely, and there's nothing tricky about that, right? Like, recruiting high school players is essential. Transfer portal is good to supplement, but getting a guy like this that can run at the linebacker spot, it can upgrade your roster immediately.
Navy will have to punt it away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. So the Notre Dame Fighting Irish offense comes out first time they've had the ball today. And what a performance, an aerial show from this guy in the last game, and he has to have a ton of confidence coming into this one, David.
Yeah, it was a great week. And watching that tape before this game, like you could tell, man, he was seeing it quick. The ball was coming out, just touchdowns at will. A really nice day. And I think, Jesse, you take that.
There he goes. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49.
You got to give the O-line a lot of credit there because it gave the receiver time to work all the way across the field on the drag route against zone coverage. Quarterback gets it to him. He's able to turn it up and get a first down.
Wants to throw on first down. Flips it out in the flat. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Guys, let's talk for a minute about Notre Dame. If they seeded the playoff today, these guys are in, but we know they're not content with that. They want so much more, David.
They do, and this squad has been building and trying to get to the point where they can get to the playoff and be a national champion. And right now they're in the mix, which is really, really good halfway through the season. A lot of work still to be done, Palmer.
Yeah, this coaching staff really at this point is just trying to keep this team focused as a top 10 team halfway through the year. It's about attention to detail, and that's got to show up in this one today.
And you see tight end matchups all over the field all the time now. It used to just be in the red zone. Now you just find the big fella, you put him in the slot, try to give him the ball as much as possible because you know he can make big plays.
With the catch, it's Chubb. Across the 25 to the 24-yard line before he stopped. Pick up a 5 and a first down. To the air on first down. Quarterback moving. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Got his man. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
One of the things that makes this quarterback so dangerous is how accurate he can be when he's on the run. And he's a guy that's looking to throw. He's not looking to take off himself. Showed you that accuracy on that play to get the first.
Fires downfield. And he's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. And here comes the Navy offense. They went 3 and out on their first possession now to see if they can be more productive this time around. After that one, not quite so backed up as they're up to the 18-yard line. Picked up some yardage on the ground. Now here comes second down. Now on the option. He'll toss it. Perfectly timed on that pitch, and they pick up the first down on the play. They've got it first and 10 from the 25. Motion from the back. Here they're trying to get it to the edge. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27. You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked in during that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong. The emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight, and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends are saying, understanding how important those rivalries are.
He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39. Here comes Navy back to the line after picking up the first down. Quarterback pulls it on the read option, going left. He just has a nose for those little crevices to be able to find space, and he picks up the first down. The midshipmen move the sticks with that powerful running game. He'll do it himself. Out of the crowd, and now he's got room. Breaks into the open. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, midshipmen.
The defense has got to do a better job of taking the most dangerous man. That's the guy with the football in his hands. Force him to do something with it. You can't just let him keep the ball and go score.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Dynamite matchup in the Big Ten, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Purdue is in front. They've led for most of the way. However, Purdue, Pete, isn't exactly putting this one in the win column just yet. They're up by 7 over Alabama. Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this Big Ten battle.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. On the run, fires downfield. Intercepted. Never really got that return cranking the... It's a setup at the 30.
Quarterback never saw his guy early enough. He was open right away, but was just late getting him the ball. Receivers jumping up and down saying, yo, I'm here, throw it to me. But by that time, the defense had already figured out where he was. And because of the late throw, they're able to come up with the interception.
Trying to get the edge on the toss. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. He sees run. He's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Tough sliding there as he picks up 1 to the 29.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got... some push to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. He's got it. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8. New center downs right on the doorstep for this offense. They want to throw it. Trying to barrel in. Touchdown, Navy! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. They score for the big fella here. Why are tight ends so effective in the red zone?
Well, these aren't the guys that are going to burn by you and go for 70 most of the time, but when you can use their big-bodied frames, threaten them to run the football and be a blocker in the running game, and now you slip them in the secondary and make that big play.
On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Going to try to get it himself. Out to the 32-yard line before he goes out of bounds, and that's the way to give a little start to the drive.
And that's a first down for the offense.
We've reached the break, and Navy holds the lead. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second. They flipped into the field, and we're ready to play. So after the break, they'll go back to work. Looking downfield on first down. Trying to escape and get it himself. And he gets out of there and gets some yardage and gets down without taking any punishment.
And he's just proving it time and time again, man. He has that feel. He obviously has the ability to pick up and put them down and go get first downs. But I think the timing of when to scramble and when not to scramble, he's really got that figured out. And you could tell it's going to be a big part of the game for him.
Looking to throw on first down. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there. I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage.
Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. And the midshipman offense making its way back onto the field. They stuck the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. They'll give it to the back. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42.